Professor Brkljačić, thank you for joining us. This year is the 25th ECR to take place in Vienna. Can you remember your first ECR and how much has the meeting changed since then?
Yes, I can remember I was first time at ECR in 1995 and I was at every ECR since. So, and also I have been at every leadership meeting, I think, for last more than 15 years. So I could watch from the time when I was very young radiologist onwards how the society grew and how the Congress changed. And I'm very glad that this development was so fast and so extensive and that we have now the second largest radiology meeting in the world. I think that the quality of ECR is increasing from year to year. I know that people also in my department and in my country who used to prefer maybe some other meetings long ago regarding the quality now say that actually ECR is the meeting one should attend. And I'm very glad that society from my country, which is very small, was also part of this big endeavor and that we contributed a little bit, but still we are proud for this.
And this is actually, I think, the biggest meeting so far in terms of physical size. Have you had a chance to explore the ECR city? Are you impressed with any of the new additions?
Yeah, well, this is the first day of the meeting, so I haven't explored it completely, but I'm very glad that we now regularly use M building because it would be impossible to organize Congress without it, and that we have several additional buildings. I think that this ECR city is an excellent idea. I think that people like it very much. And the need to spread the Congress because of the increased participation was obvious, and I'm very glad that we managed to do it. And I think the whole setting is actually very nice and provides opportunity for people to enjoy, to meet, not only to enjoy educational content of the Congress, but also to meet in person. Because this is very important. We can't only think that online education is important, it's also important that people meet and build friendships. And I can say that one of the, I would say, the biggest assets of all these years that I'm participating in ESR and ECR is that I really met some people who became my friends for life from different parts of Europe and world, and this is also a big advantage and something that is very precious.
Absolutely. As the current Vice President of the ESR, you're taking over as President at this Congress. So you will be in charge of next year's Congress, ECR 2020.
That's true.
What can attendees expect of that meeting?
Well, we had so far growth from year to year. I don't know if we will have more participants next year than this year, but I don't think that this is really important. Sometimes we have to have maybe a saturation, but participants can expect that the Congress will be of very high quality. I have excellent program planning committee that is already working for several months quite extensively. We had already one meeting in Vienna, we will have several more. We exchange a lot of emails, and we actually already finalized some very important parts of the next year's program regarding educational activities. There will be some changes. We will have plenary sessions changed compared to honorary sessions at this Congress. We will also have change in the sequences of scientific sessions versus educational sessions so that we will have parallel educational and scientific sessions all the time so that people who are more interested in education can actually be exposed to educational events all the time. And we will take care very much to have a well-balanced program in all subspecialties of radiology. So I can vouch that with this excellent program planning committee, we will have very high quality of ECR 2020, and I invite people to come.
Do you already have topics in place for the E3 academies?
Yes, we have, so we usually repeat one academy that will get the highest scores at this Congress. I already have idea which this will be. We will have interactive academy like here, but with changed topics next year, at least partially. And we will have some new academies. First, we will have separate academy on artificial intelligence. I think that this is very hot topic in radiology, and we will have the whole academy dedicated to artificial intelligence with excellent speakers. Program is almost finalized. We just miss one more speaker. And then we will have academy in emergency radiology. The program is also finalized. And we will have academy in cardiothoracic imaging, so cardiac and thoracic imaging, where the program is also finalized. So basically, we will have 5 academies, and I think that the quality of these academies will be very high. We have also finalized New Horizon sessions, or at least topics, and also state-of-art sessions for the next Congress.
The ESR Meets program is always an important part of each Congress. Can you tell us which countries will participate next year?
First we will have for the first time ever Canada as a meet country. So far we never had Canada in these years, and you know that Canadian radiology is very advanced. Also in the field of artificial intelligence, Canada is one of the countries which is leading in research, and I'm sure that this will be very interesting. The second country will be Israel. Israel was already ESR meet country in 2008. Israeli radiology is also very advanced. You know that they have many patents and very, very advanced research in all fields, including radiology, and I'm very glad that we will have excellent talks from Israel next year. And then, since my home country, Croatia, was already meet country in 2009, we will re-invite Croatia, but not alone. We will have also Slovakia and Slovenia in the same session. These are 3 relatively small countries that have many similarities in language and history, and also the way radiology is practiced, and that are more or less neighboring countries. So we will have the joint session of Croatia, Slovenia, and Slovakia next year.
What's your own area of expertise within radiology, and will that be specially represented?
I am doing breast radiology and also vascular radiology. It's not a very common combination, but that's how it is. And I will take care not to overemphasize the areas I'm doing, because I think that all areas of radiology should be well balanced and equally represented, but of course both breast and vascular and interventional radiology will be very well represented, but I will try not to over-represent them.
This year, one of the big new additions at the Congress is the Women in Focus program. Yeah. Will there be something else in focus next year?
Yes, we are going to see how it will go with this Women in Focus program. I suspect that this will be a great success, and we are already thinking that if it proves successful, that we could do Children in Focus next year. Okay. I think that pediatric radiologists often feel that they are a little bit underrepresented, and I think that child care is very important for European radiology, and we should give proper importance and so to say, lights to pediatric radiology and children in general. So we would make a Children in Focus program.
And is there a motto for next year's Congress?
Yeah, so you know that 2020 in ophthalmology represents perfect vision. Right. So we made the motto, because it's 2020, as a clear vision of radiology.
Very good. And
we already have a poster of the Congress with a Rembrandt-like painting, okay, where there is light and dark. So,
well, yeah. Look forward to that. Yeah. You are in charge of the ESR Eye Guide within the ESR board. What benefits does the Eye Guide bring for patients, referrers, and radiologists?
I think that this is very important initiative that is maybe not still accepted as much as it should be. We have huge problems in many countries, and I know that we struggle with this for many years, with waiting lists that are huge. The number of imaging procedures is increasing from year to year. There were some statistics, I think, that in 10 years, I think from 97 to 2006, the number of visits to emergency rooms increased by 30%, and in CT examinations by 330%. And we see this also in our everyday work in my hospital, which is a relatively large center. We have from year to year huge increase and pressure on radiology services, and unfortunately many of these examinations are not properly indicated. We often do examinations that might not have been done at all because they don't bring any clinical really value or were not indicated at all. And this system of iGuide, which was devised actually together with American College of Radiology, and that was validated for many years in the United States, and that was Europeanized, will provide referrers opportunity to order exams that are appropriate. This is also important for patients because some examinations, especially those which expose patients to ionizing radiation, if they are not indicated, then they have also some unwanted effects to patients with potential health hazards. So we don't want to expose patients unnecessarily to ionizing radiation, even though the doses may be small. So I think this is important both for referrers. It is important for radiologists to concentrate on that what is really important and clinically indicated, and not to waste time on unnecessary examinations. It's also important for hospital administration and healthcare systems not to waste money or resources on unnecessary things. And I'm very glad that there are now several hospitals, institutions, regions, or even countries in Europe and out of Europe that are expressing interest to use iGuide on a regular basis. We had a pilot project in Croatia a few years ago in 4 hospitals, including mine, where we saw that between 20 and 30% of examinations were inappropriately ordered. But we need to find a way how to incentivize referrers to use the system. Otherwise, it will not function. And we are now in a lot of activities regarding this, but it would require a long time to go into details.
How can referrers access the system? Is it available to all
it's available.
ESR members?
It can be embedded into, if the hospital is installing it, it is then embedded into the normal radiology information system and hospital information system. So it's embedded in everyday normal ordering. You just go to your computer, and referrers who are anyway expected to explain to radiologists why they refer patients for some examination should fill some questions about the condition of patients, and then the system would calculate by itself the appropriateness of particular imaging procedure. So it doesn't take too much time, because anyway referrers are obliged to state the reason for exam and describe what they expect and what the patient has. The problem in clinical practice, at least in my institution, is that many referrers, surgeons, internists got used to order whatever they wish, whenever they wish. And they may think that this is not, that this is additional time constraint on them. However, for instance, in the United States, the examinations are not reimbursed, or it will be put into legal system, I think, from 2020, that examinations will not be reimbursed unless the order is put through the system. So this is one of the incentives. In Europe, it's not. So it's goodwill of referrers to use it or not.
Okay. So finally, if you could start your medical career over again, if you could go back to being a student, would you choose radiology again, and why?
Well, at the time when I was starting radiology, it was already quite long ago, unfortunately. I didn't really think when I was a student that I would go into radiology. It occurred more or less accidentally, so to say, but I never regret it. It's really very nice and very diverse profession. It's very rewarding. It was changing very fast, and I passed my board exam 25 years ago. Actually, you have to study so much that what I knew then, it would be totally useless now with everything that changed. So I think that this is one of professions in medicine that is really quite rewarding, and that if you choose proper areas, you have sufficient exposure also to patients. And I don't think that radiologists have to be invisible, as some complain. So I would choose it again. Now, how it will develop in the future, it depends also a lot, I think, on us. But it's definitely the profession that is changing profoundly, quite fast.
Right. Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I hope you enjoy the rest of the Congress, and best of luck with planning
Great.
next year.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.